This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to week 13 of my Arrowverse recap, where I'll be going over the last 2 weeks of Arrowverse content, since I was out of town last week. So, let's go into it. The Batwoman episode was about, police corruption and stuff, and on that Sunday, I saw great and amazing film content about police corruption, and its name was Spiral. I'll have a review about that out tomorrow. And going into this show was a pretty brutal episode, and it was not that enjoyable. I generally don't remember that much about it. It was over a week ago I saw it, and I just really don't know. They spent most of the time in jail, and there was zombies or something. And then the ending scene felt kind of forced, and it was just really, really brutal. I did not really enjoy it. And there was no new episode this week, so I think there's nothing until June 6th, I think. So it's another 2 weeks until there's a new episode, so I'm not really looking forward to that. But as I did say, I saw something great about police corruption, and its name was Spiral from the book of Saw, and I'll be releasing my review about that tomorrow. I am now going over the last episode of Black Lightning, and these are the last 2 episodes of it, and I think they did a good job. They set up a interesting storyline and many other interesting plot points. I think it was done pretty well, although I'm not a huge fan of it. I think they ended the season and show in a pretty good way. I feel like there were some things that felt a little off, like the entire fake Jennifer thing. I believe it was her name. Again, I don't watch the show that well. I just kind of see the episodes. I felt extremely rushed. It was kind of hinted at earlier in the season, but and in the finale, it's just kind of all done in 5-6 minutes, and really I just felt like that was rushed and probably should have been done better. But the rest of it I think was pretty well done. Also, it felt a little weird that the character of Black Lightning didn't do too much in the finale of the show, but it was more of setting up their future generation of heroes, so I understand that. It just felt a little odd that he spent 3/4 of the episode in a coffin, and then with the time it was mainly focused on everyone else and not him. But we're going into the finale, and the one before it was still pretty good too. I think it was super special. I think they did a way better job with the finale. And the only thing I felt a little off and odd about the finale, besides what I mentioned before, was sort of the ending where that one guy finally gets out of the concrete and just kind of looks at Tobias, who's dead, and just is good job that someone killed him. And it just kind of ends there. I feel like that probably should have happened a little early in the episode. And it just feels really odd for that to be how it ends. And really, I think this is a pretty good show overall. It's just not my favorite. Legends. Ooh, that was 2 just super dumb episodes. Oh, but they're so fun. the singing competition that was going to lead to the end of the world. That's just so ridiculous, and it would not work on most shows. And it would probably be the plot of some kid's cartoon, but somehow they made it work. It was just so funny. I love that episode so much. It was just so ridiculous. Again, I don't watch Legends to get some serious, you know, quality content. I watch it for fun. And if I watch it in a more serious tone, I'm probably not going to enjoy it as much. But that's not what I watch it. And then this week, nearly starting World War III, although a little more serious, it was done really in a really fun way. And I think that it was very interesting to do when you looked at it. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that Fidel Castro was able to be tricked so easily. I mean, he's a dictator for a reason, but it's just, kind of fun to poke fun at these people, and that's why I don't watch it seriously, because if this was seriously taken by me, and that probably would have made no sense, and I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But, of course, you just have to look at it with fun. The show has been just so good and interesting. I cannot wait to see where it continues. These 2 episodes were so good and well done. I really enjoyed it and cannot wait to see what happens in the next episodes and how they're able to rescue Sarah. And it's going to be pretty interesting when Gary is reunited with his fiance, which is with Mick right now. Oh, this is just so fun and enjoyable. I cannot wait to see where this continues. Just to let you know, the Flash and Superman and Lois ones, I recorded the first episodes before I saw the second ones. So it's going to be a little bit of a different format. We're going to be talking at each individual episodes at a time. I'm going to keep them separated also, but I'm going to play both back to back. So I'll just kind of go into the Flash episode, and really that wasn't the crew-given episode. It felt way too rushed. I think that this finale, if they wanted to do it like this, probably should have been 3 parts, with one focusing on the character of Horza, the second on Psyche, and the third finally focusing on both the Still Force and I can't think of the Still Force's user's name right now, and Nora, and taking her down. I think that would have been so much more interesting, and the reason it should be 3 and not 4 is since we already had a full episode with the Still Force being focused in it, so at least we have that. And on the other side, really, I just think that this episode could have been done so much better. I think that there was definitely some mistakes made, and just felt way too rushed, and more things happened than I think should have. And I feel like this would have been benefited so much if this was a 3-part finale, or if it was a 2-part finale. This one should have been leading up to it and not been part of it, because although there are more episodes, this is the finale to the storyline of the Forces, and it just feels so weak because it just has so much to happen. I'm not really sure what I'm going to think about the new episodes that I watched tonight and how it's going to be able to fix this story, but we'll see. And sadly, it really didn't get that much better. I am recording this almost immediately after watching the episode, Well, immediately after I also saw the Superman and Lois episode, and well, it really just did not get any better. The storyline really was just disappointing, as I feel like they just tried to cram way too much into it. And this might have benefited from being a full season storyline, but overall, this was just a very weak episode. In fact, one of the worst things about it is that the villain, the Speed Force, is redeemed. And you might be wondering, why is that so bad? Well, if you think of it, during the season, every villain that has appeared in it, besides Chillblain, up to this point, has been redeemed. Mirror Master, redeemed. All these Force holders were redeemed. Abracadabra was redeemed. And it just feels way too repetitive. It's getting kind of boring and cliche. And really, I'm not that interested in the storyline. It was pretty poorly executed. And I think that really it was just not that good. Although I do enjoy The Flash, this storyline was not handled that well. It was done pretty good, I feel like, for the middle part, but they really messed up at the end. This episode was very enjoyable. I think there was a very good job done with it. Of course, everything was just so good. We have the storylines of both Jonathan and Jordan continuing on, with them going to Metropolis, and Jordan's powers becoming even more powerful. And sorry, I kind of forgot Jordan's name for a second, because I definitely know about Jonathan Kent more, because although I haven't read as many of the new DC comics, I know about him as Superboy and as Superman's son, and that's much more well known than Jordan, who's a completely original character for the series, and I'm really excited to see how this continues on. The two definitely are done very well, and I want to see how the story continues. Other things that are interesting is the story between Lois Lane and Captain Luthor, as they're investigating into Morgan Edge and get a major revelation about what's going on. And also the character of Tag, I believe that was his name, and Superman fighting as he goes after Jordan and tries to expose what Jordan really is, was definitely really interesting also. And seeing how General Lane is starting to turn on Superman is also something interesting to look at, and I can't wait to see how that continues. I am so excited to see the next episode that I'm watching tonight. Well, it would be last night from when I released this, but again, I haven't seen the next episode yet, so I can't wait to see where it continues. And I'll be updating this and releasing it tomorrow, mainly because I'm not going to have that much time to record. I have a dentist appointment and stuff, so I'm just tossing this in pretty quickly and just want enough time to be able to record 5-10 minutes. I may even record it after I just finish watching the episodes. Which is what I decided to do, and that Superman and Lois episode was really good. Unlike The Flash, which was really disappointing, this definitely builds it up. And I think that, at least for this one, I knew that the John Diggle actor, David Ramsey, was directing. And this honestly was one of the best episodes of the season. He did a really good job with it, and it built up so much more interesting stuff. The confrontation between who we now know as John Henry Irons and Superman was very interesting, and if that name sounds familiar, it is because John Henry Irons is the superhero known as Steel, and it's a pretty interesting twist for him to not be an evil Lex Luthor, and this definitely pushes towards the point of everyone really being able to working together. We'll eventually will realize that Superman is not his enemy, and I think there was a Steel movie, but I think it was really bad and was by like I think Shaquille O'Neal was in it or something. I don't know, I just remember hearing that it was really bad and no one watched it. But he was in a better movie, Reign of the Superman. It's an animated film, and if you want to see his more classic appearance, go watch that, because he originally appeared in the Death of Superman storyline, where he was one of the people who tried to fill the void that Superman left behind after his death. This was a pretty good twist. You were thinking he was an alternate version of Lex Luthor, and that he was somehow a good version. And you were even thinking you get to this episode, and there was no way they were going to double twist you. And they did that, and it was done very well. I really enjoyed it, and I really just can't wait to see where it continues. In fact, I think that I am way more excited for the show now than The Flash. Even though I have been watching The Flash from day one, it's really been up there in one of my favorite shows. The Flash is pretty bad storyline, and this one's amazing storyline. It's definitely going to change things. This is probably my favorite incarnation of Superman. And although I haven't seen the original films, I do plan to, but I just haven't really had a chance yet. This has been so good. These twists and all the characters are really interesting. And although it would have been interesting for it to be Lex Luthor, I feel like they definitely should have saved it for the main Lex Luthor. And now I'm glad they have, and we could see Lex Luthor is likely going to come from Supergirl, because of course they have confirmed in this one that they are probably going to be continuing with that Lex Luthor after confirming that there has been history between the two. And I'm just so excited. Honestly, I'm just thinking of it right now because I have the footage playing. But I can't wait to see Darkseid eventually appear in this. I mean, we know that's probably not going to happen next season. Maybe even season 3. But if this gets maybe seasons 4 or 5, we might be seeing Darkseid appear. And that'll be really interesting. He could even be a crossover villain. And from what I think I saw is the Flash might be starting with a 5-part premiere. So if that is true, then, well, not a 5-part premiere, it's like a 5-part crossover premiere, I think. Somewhere between the other shows, so it could be interesting for Darkseid to be the one for the finale to all these shows, maybe in the few years down the line. Honestly, I don't know if the Flash thing is true or not. I just kind of saw that on the internet, so don't quote me on it if it's not true, but if it is, surprise. While looking at the rest of the episode, it was interesting to see Jordan honing in his powers, and really I think that Jonathan is a good character. He just doesn't have that much going on with him. He sort of seems like he's taking the backseat, even though he is Superboy in the comics, which just feels really weird. Yeah, that's another one of those changes. But with how faithful they are being to the source material, I feel like they may do this. Also, I'm wondering if Brainiac can appear in this. Brainiac has and can appear on TV because the show Krypton, which definitely had a lower budget than this, was able to put him in it. So we also know that Warner Brothers is willing to put Brainiac in TV content since, they won't let Batman and all these other specific characters like Deathstroke now, the Suicide Squad members, and more appear in TV because they're so big. But things are starting to change with the new Batman animated series being revealed. The same with the Superman one. Of course, I'm more excited for the Batman one. The Superman looks more to me like some kind of coming of age story or something. The Batman looks like it to be something similar to the animated series. Yeah, they might both be close to the animated series, but I've only seen the Batman one. I've only seen a few episodes of the Superman one. And I really like this. Also, I like the Lois Lane story of the show. And it's definitely becoming a really good show, really fast. And can't wait to see where this continues. The Superman and Lois section, the show's been so good, I had to use up the same Role of Injustice 2 footage twice because I have so much to say about it. I really am just excited to see the show continue. And really, I'll just see you in the next episode of Legends and Theories. But I will be trying to stream Arkham Origins soon. I just haven't had that much time to do it because I've been busy with some other stuff. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please like the video, leave some comments, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. And may the Force be with you.